Welcome back to the Football Talk Exchange. And now we have on our list Federico Chiesa from Fiorentina. Uh, I think Abhay should start because he is more of a Serie A fan than
Yeah,
the other two of us.
yeah. So I think Kies has really like fast, skillful, and like has a good finishing skills. And I think he would rank as a decent for me because he certainly lacks that edge in terms of pressure because he hasn't really performed in the big game because he hasn't played in the big games. So I think currently he ranks as decent for me, but he's he's obviously like a UCL quality potential.
Aryan?
I personally think that this guy would be a great addition to a team like Shakhtar or a Wolfsburg, which is trying to win the Europa League. Like he's definitely,
Wolfsburg.
huh?
Wolfsburg
Wolfsburg,
Wolfsburg.
are fighting relegation.
but they are currently in the Europa League knockouts, if you know about it,
Okay.
and they're in a commanding
100%.
position. So I would say
Alright.
that they're still going on there, and
Hmm.
like a club like Rangers or Shakhtar is what I'm trying to say, who's trying to win
Mhm.
Europa League.
Yeah, I get it.
Bro, Ryan Kent and Kiesa on the wings, bro.
That would be amazing. Like that would be a great combination. So obviously not UCL quality, but definitely decent.
Yeah, I would agree. He's not played in the bigger games in Serie A because of his club Fiorentina. I think right now he would be in decent category, but as in when he moves to a bigger
Yeah.
club, he could be upgraded to a UCL quality
And
category.
yeah, okay. Oh, Kutro ने Fiorentina का
Patrick-
बहुत अच्छा चलता है.
Oh, another Fiorentina player, Patrick Cutrone.
Patrick Cutrone. He's on loan from
Yeah.
Wolves, right?
From
Yes.
Wolves to Fiorentina.
Another one of the failed Milan wonder kids. Like
Yeah,
how
failed Milan,
many
yeah.
failed Milan
Last-
wonder kids there would
Last year I had seen in the news like Cotrone breaks
Yep.
some teams' defense apart, and he was
be?
like
He actually scored
really
in
the
the
spotlight.
118th minute against Inter in the semi-finals of the
Yeah,
Coppa
yeah.
Italia.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
that was when like he was at the peak of like hype, but
since then he has just fallen off.
he's just fallen off.
Hmm.
It's not been a
Moved to Wolves, and he was benched at Wolves, so
Hmm.
that really says a lot about his
But
talents.
on the other hand, yes, Raul Jimenez also broke out, so we can't say that
Yeah,
he didn't get the proper chance. Also, he recently got COVID. He recovered, good for him, but he doesn't look like he's going to realize his proper
I
potential.
think he'll be overhyped for me.
I think he's not even hyped. I think he's just Jesse Lingard. He has had 4 years of his career. He has had 4 years of top career, like in the Serie A and Premier League. I don't think how much better of an opportunity he can get. So I think it was then or never. So he's in Jesse Lingard.
Okay, I would personally put him in the overhyped category. Jesse Lingard, I think it would
I
be
think
a bit too harsh.
That's a bit too harsh on him. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
So
my opinion.
Diogo Dalot.
next up we have Diogo Dalot from Manchester United.
Go on, Shubham.
I mean, we signed him 2 years ago. United did even post on their Instagram account that 2 years ago, since we signed Diogo Dalot, I think he's barely played like even 20 games for 2 years.
I think he was injured, right, when you signed him, right?
Yeah, when we
Yeah,
signed
now
him, he was
Van
injured.
Bissaka-
And
And now
Yeah.
there is Van
I think
Bissaka, so there is
he just-
there is no proper
he-
chance
yeah,
for
he
him to
hasn't
get a starting position.
fallen down the pecking order. Yeah.
yeah, I think he was not hyped to be called overhyped, but
I think
he
did fit in
probably.
the-
Yeah, I think he would be decent quality considering he's played for Porto in the Champions League as well.
Yeah. I think Manchester United was trying to do one of those Cristiano Ronaldo jobs with him, like find a random talent from somewhere, like
Yeah.
not hyped at all. Aisa.
I mean, but Ronaldo, like a lot of bigger European clubs were interested as well, like Liverpool, Arsenal.
Bigger, bhai.
At the
Arsenal,
time-
European,
at
bigger
the
European
time-
thodo.
At
I mean,
the
not
time-
bigger than United, bigger than Sporting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, Alfonso Davies, the speed monster.
Alfonso Davies.
Roadrunner.
Yeah, he has really broken out in the last 6 months. So
Absolute
Uh,
beast. Tank.
yeah, I mean he has benched Alaba back to the CB position. Sochna,
Hmm.
David Alaba
Hmm.
back to
yeah,
CB, bro.
and that's forced Hernandez out of the team.
Yeah. Obviously,
And
Hernandez
Yeah,
had an
extent,
injury,
Fernandez
but
injury.
yeah,
Yeah,
still, to do that in your first proper
hmm,
season in a top club in
yeah, I
Europe,
mean,
coming from the MLS, it's
MLS, yeah.
yeah,
decent. It's
exactly.
more than decent. He's
I
definitely UCL quality for me.
yeah, I think right now he would be UCL quality for sure. In the coming years, definitely he has the potential to go up to the ballers
Even in the
mark.
next year, even if he gives one proper
Hmm.
season in the Bundesliga,
Yeah,
he'll go into the bowlers category because he can be the best left back in the world. Like he can follow in the steps of Alba and Marcelo and
Hmm.
Carlos, obviously. So
yeah, same
And he's got
UCL
mad pace.
quality.
Like,
and he's got more
Yeah,
pace than any of them. So
yeah,
like yeah, Hakimi on the left back position.
pocketing
yeah, true.
Haaland
Fast, skillful. Yeah,
is a great achievement for
Yeah.
a fullback essentially. Next up, Frankie De Jong.
yeah,
Frankie De Jong.
Aryan,
Aryan,
go
you
off,
should
man,
start.
go
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, yeah. When Abhay said go off, yeah, I think I'm
मैं
one
थोड़ा
of the
मेरा ईयरफोन साइड में रखता हूँ.
I'm one of the only ones on this channel that actually vouches for Frankie De Jong. Like both of you are very on the fence on him. I think he personally is going to be one of the best midfielders in the world. I am 80% sure of it. I'm still leaving that 20% because with the recent top big money signings that Barcelona has made have not gone to plan.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
Dembele,
Usman Dembele, Philippe Coutinho,
has not gone.
270
Griezmann.
million.
Griezmann, yes.
हाँ.
I think this man has a lot of potential. The campaign he had with Ajax, the way that team played, the way that Frankie De Jong was such an important part to them, to Netherlands at the UEFA Nations League. He's going to be one of the best. He was the best youngster,
Yeah.
obviously, there. He's going to be one of the best midfielders. It might be a little bit of bias. Who knows? I think he's going to be one of the best, like, up and down midfielders in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm putting him currently in the bowlers category.
Ooh. Okay.
It might be Barca.
Abhay,
Yeah.
Abhay,
Yeah.
what do you say? Yeah.
When I saw him very dismantled our midfield in that 5-1 loss of 4-1 loss, I guess, in the
4-1,
CL.
yeah, I
But
think. Yeah.
yeah. So in that match, he was playing godly. But ever since then, when I've seen Barca playing, he was good, but not to the level that Barca fans hype him up to. So currently,
Hmm.
he'll be in the CL quality for me, but he obviously has a very high ceiling to live up to, and he can fulfill that. Who knows?
Yeah. I think I would put him in the CL quality as well. In the coming years, definitely with his performances, once he settles in at Barcelona as well, I
Yes.
think definitely he's got the potential to be in the ballers category.
Matthias De Ligt, I think Abhay should start.
Yeah.
I should start, yeah.
I think for me, he goes in the CL quality again. So when I saw him play versus Juventus, like he scored, I think 1 goal and he defended really well. Also, like CSN scored, but like his teammates weren't that great. All thanks to De Ligt, and he captained like an an Ajax team at the age of 19 or 18 when they would when they could have potentially gone into the CL final for the first time in like a long time. So I think
Since
that really speaks
96.
volumes. Yeah. So like
Mm.
that really speaks volumes about his talent and his defensive ability. And at Juve, he's bang average, but he obviously has a very high potential like De Jong. So I put him in the CL quality for now.
Mm-hmm. I think his case is very similar to that of Frankie de Jong's at Barcelona. So again, for those reasons, I would put him in the CL quality category.
Yeah. A great leader. He can be future Juventus captain. Who knows? He still has to be mentored by Bonucci and
Barzagli,
Chiellini.
Bonucci,
Yeah,
yeah.
Barzagli
Move
obviously
on
retired,
to
but
an extent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bonucci
he
and
retired, but yeah.
Chiellini can really mentor and make him into one of the best centre backs in the world. He's obviously
Select and Demiral and
Yeah.
be like the
yeah.
Bonucci.
obviously,
Sorry.
Delight is a physical beast. He's a delight. He was a delight to watch in the Ajax campaign. Uh, his speech was amazing. If you know, you know.
Yeah, I saw, I saw.
Yeah.
But yeah, just shows his quality. He obviously scored that own goal, which put many haters like to his put a sword on his neck.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
with time he will prove himself. I'm also going to put him in the UCL quality category. Gianluigi
So next up
Donnarumma.
on this list,
I think I should start because
yeah,
like
go on.
he's in Syria and
Go on.
Madrid
Yeah.
might want to look for him as a Courtois replacement. So I think Donnarumma really broke out in the 2017 season, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
And like even now he's pretty good. Like he has like the top 3 clean sheets, if I'm not wrong, in Serie A. And he's 6'9", I guess. Like he's pretty tall and he's skillful for the age.
He's
6'9", that would be crazy, man.
He's 6'6".
6'6", arey bhai.
The same height as Courtois.
Yeah, so I think he's really beast in front of the goal, and so I've seen his highlights. Like his reflexes are not that great, due to his height, of course, but his positioning and distribution are really top of the class. So I currently rank him in decent, but he obviously has a very high potential.
Aryan, what do you say?
Yeah, this guy has literally been playing football since he was a school kid. So
Yeah,
he has 4 years of experience on one of the biggest stages in one of the biggest leagues in Europe.
Europe.
He deserves to go to a bigger club. Like Milan have not
Yeah.
built a very good team around him. Like he was supposed to be the cornerstone for Milan. He was supposed to be the building piece. Like with him and some of the talents that they brought in were not really good. Like not really up to the mark of a club that is a dormant giant, let's say, like of
yeah.
this is the perfect time. He's 20 right now. He still has 4 years of
He's still 20.
Yeah, he's
the
still
last time I
20.
saw he was.
Damn.
Yes.
will be
He's
young.
still 20 and this is the right time for him to seek a move away. I'm going to say that he is UCL quality with his frame, with the frame that he has, with the way that he covers the goal, with the way that he can use his feet not in distribution but in like the Iker Casillas save against Robin, if you know what I'm saying, like that.
Or like the Dea versus
obviously the De Gea
Liverpool.
masterclass. De Gea is one of
Yeah.
the best keepers at saving footballs with his feet. So
Legs,
I think Donnarumma is already UCL quality. He could become one of the best goalkeepers in the world because he still has a lot of time on his side.
Yeah. Again, I don't have much to say. You've already covered a lot, Aryan and Abhay. I think he would be in the UCL quality for me because obviously he has a much higher ceiling than Inter Milan. AC Milan. I'm so
Milan.
sorry.
The whole team of AC
Triggering
Milan.
all the fans.
Yeah. So definitely UCL quality for me.
Ansu Fati.
Yes, Aryan.
Aryan,
Again, go off, please. Go off.
I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to have any Barca bias here. This man is good. He has a good potential.
Yeah.
He could not reach anywhere above ballers, is what I'm saying. He could never win the Ballon d'Or.
Obviously, yeah.
He is a good winger. He has good pace. He is decent at finishing. I mean, given the amount of play time, he should really be finishing a lot more because in the games that he had played, no other of our top attackers played. Like none of them were there to like steal the ball away from him or ask for the ball continuously.
Yes.
He was one of the first players through whom the attack was going. He should definitely have had a better output this season after like the breakout that he had, becoming the youngest goal scorer in La Liga ever. I was expecting big things. He definitely hasn't lived up to my expectations for this season at least. I'm going to say he's decent, but he has the
Alright.
potential to become UCL quality.
Abhay?
Yeah, so the first time I saw him, like I couldn't read his name. It was like Ansumani something.
Ansu Mane Fati.
So yeah, so like one fine day I woke up and I saw Messi hugging him, and the caption was like 4-3-3, of course. and they're like youngest player at Barca or something. I was like, who the fuck is this? But like he's obviously like a great player, and I've seen his plays, but he has played like 10 odd games, so that is a really small sample size to rate his true talent. But I think he's obviously like a great player with a high potential. So currently he's in the decent category for me.
I think 4-3-3 is the best place to go for overhyping youngsters.
Yeah.
Go on, Shubham.
Yeah, so again, like I've seen his stats once, I think a couple of weeks ago, surely. And like Aryan mentioned, for the amount of games he's had, you would expect him to score more goals and be much more involved in the attacking side of things. I think let's not forget he's only 17 right now, and there is a lot of pressure, and you've got to deal with the hype as well. It's like you limit yourself. You have to force yourself to stay grounded. I think he would be UCL quality. Like UCL quality, he wouldn't start for a team, but like a lower team in the UCL, he would definitely. They would fancy starting him.
He would like you were saying he would like be a decent super sub on a Champions League winning team.
Yeah.
Okay. Agree. João Felix, intriguing transfer. Transfer fee.
I think the La Liga fans should start.
So I think when I say this, I think like I take into account his career at Benfica plus his career at Atletico plus his transfer fee. So I think for me, like he basically goes into override, because at Benfica when I saw his plays, he was basically like Cruyff. Like I saw Cruyff in him, and like he had those fluid dribbling styles and that goal scoring finesse in him. But at Madrid, I think he fell victim to the media's like rating him as the next CR7 or like the next Torres, I guess. So I think he really suffered in that sense. But I think he had been injured for like 2 or 3 weeks or like a month or so, and that really hindered his progress. But I think currently for me, considering that he was bought for 120 million, he would go into overhyped for me.
So yeah, Aryan, your thoughts on João Felix?
I think the price tag didn't do him any favors in the first place. Like he was, first of all the money that came from Griezmann was instantly invested into him. Yeah. Obviously, someone like a Simeone never goes out and spends so much money on one player. To fill in those shoes in such a defensive team like Simeone was a tough ask anyway. But still, given the fact that that existed, to score less goals than Diego Costa is not acceptable. Like Diego Costa is already past his prime. My man should have got at least 7 to 8 goals to have a case of being UCL quality this season. But having a return of only 2 goals is making me agree with Abhay in saying that he is overhyped. Given all the media pressure and all the things that came with his price tag and all the talent that he showed for Benfica in the Liga NOS and in the Europa League, he's still going to be overhyped. Shubham?
Yeah, with just 2 goals in, let's say he must have played at least 10 to 15 games.
16,
that's still a very... Okay, yeah. That's still like 1 goal in 8 games. That's still a very...
mediocre.
Bad return for the amount... Yeah. For the amount Atletico spent on him. So I think, I would agree he's overhyped. And next up on this list, it's Phil Foden, Man City's generational talent who's only managed 3 Premier League starts. I think we must have seen this meme.
Yeah, we all have.
So I think I would want to start first as a Premier League fan.
Go on.
The only memories I have of him is the Under-17 World Cup in India, where he won the Golden Ball, I think. And I think last season he started away against Spurs and scored the only goal of that game. Those are the only 2 things I remember and know about him. If he is really that good, you would expect a manager like Pep Guardiola, who's known to promote youth, to play him more. So right now, I think he would be overhyped. No bias. I think he's overhyped right now.
Uh, uh, like I think I should go next because
Yeah.
Pep was Pep went the youth route only at Barcelona. At Man City, he has gone only for the money route. So
Yeah.
I don't know if the youth route would have made him promote somebody like a Phil Foden, because Pep actually what he does at Manchester City. He does not like care. He is fallen victim to Sheikh Mansour. He sees the money and he buys the big
Yeah.
players. He does not. He is least concerned about his academy. He let go of players like Eric Garcia and Angelino. I don't know what he's doing.
Or I
Those-
think rather like he's forced by Sheikh Mansour
yeah,
because
maybe.
obviously
Who knows?
they don't care at all.
Yeah, to keep to
who the
keep
youth.
themselves at
Yeah.
the top, they need to play the best players at all times. So an opportunity for Phil Foden is not in the picture at all. So I think this man was UCL quality until last season, but this season, since he has got no opportunities, he has been relegated to decent.
All right, Abhay.
So I don't really have a scale to rate him, and I haven't seen him play at all. But the amount of hype he's getting, like Pep said that he's like the most talented player that he has ever seen, like better than Messi. So I
So
think
play him now.
to that hype, I don't think he has played enough matches to prove that. So I think he would go in the overhype for me.
All right, interesting. Yeah. Okay. And next up is Tottenham's recent signing, Getson Fernandes. I mean, let's talk about this quickly because has anyone really seen him play
I think
No.
at Tottenham or
Yeah,
at his previous club? I think
I-
Benfica.
Yeah,
Benfica, yeah.
I think there has
Yeah.
not been a big enough sample size at Spurs itself. But at Benfica, he was a really good midfielder. Like Benfica have a history of producing like good midfielders. Like Matic, David Luiz was a midfielder.
Good players, bro.
Players
Calm
obviously,
down.
but I'm just focusing on the midfielders part. Like obviously, Matic, David Luiz was a defensive midfielder there. Gedson Fernandes now. I mean, he was very good at Benfica. He was one of the best youngsters. But since Tottenham already brought in Ndombele and Lo
And
Celso,
Dembele. Yeah.
he didn't have any place for playing. They also brought in Bergwijn, who can play anywhere.
The
On
midfield was too saturated for him
Yeah,
to
it's
perform.
already too saturated,
Yeah.
and he's only on loan. So why is he even on loan when he's not getting any play time?
And playtime, yeah.
Why? So like, I don't think he is all that. Like even at Benfica, yeah, he was good, but not a loan to Spurs good. So yeah, overhyped.
I would go so far as to rank him as Jesse Lingard because when I've seen him play, he was lackluster because he didn't play really that good. Like at Benfica, he was that ball-winning CDM CM hybrid, but at Tottenham, I have seen two of his highlights, but he didn't really shine. So I think he'd be somewhere in between overhyped and Jesse Lingard for me. But like, Jesse Lingard, in short.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think I would put him in overhyped because, like, when Tottenham signed him, even on loan, he was like said to be a very good midfielder, but he's not really shown that at Tottenham. So I think overhyped would be the perfect category.
Okay, next up, David Luiz is
Next
Matteo
up is
Guendouzi.
Gendouzi.
David Luiz is lost brother.
Again, a player that I haven't seen much of, just like Gedson Fernandes. The world has seen much more of him. I haven't because Arsenal, I mean, who watches Arsenal except for
Yeah.
Arsenal fans? So,
Even
I
they
think-
don't watch the matches.
I mean, yeah, these days. So right now, I wouldn't be too harsh on him. I would put him in the overhyped category.
harsh नहीं बोल के overhyped डाल दिया.
I mean, not as bad as Lingard, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I've seen him play a couple of times. So like he and Torreira obviously are like the tanks at Arsenal, and didn't perform that well. But I think he really has a knack to win balls and cut passes of the opponents. So I think, so I'm not convinced that he would start for France as many Arsenal fans say, but I think he's up there in like the next two or so years. So I think currently he's in the decent category for me. Right?
Even I think he's decent because even though he's like not the best midfielder, he still starts for a top quality club. Let's just say they're still top quality because Arsenal. Let's just give them that
Yeah.
because of their history.
Conventional big six.
Obviously, instantly he replaced Granit Xhaka. Like he filled into the role that Granit Xhaka was supposed to actually do. Like when he was brought from Gladbach, he was actually supposed to be that ball-winning midfielder who had a decent enough shot on him. Obviously, Torreira cannot shoot to save his life, so they had to bring in someone like a Gendouzi to compensate for that. He has been decent in the time he was at Arsenal, so I think I would say decent. He can definitely become a good reserve player for a UCL side that goes deep into the competition.
Yeah.
All right.
Erling Haaland.
Erling
Yeah, I mean,
Haaland.
Can't really argue.
So,
I think Ballon d'Or, when we're talking about Ballon d'Or, we wouldn't say he would win the Ballon d'Or right now, but he has the potential to win
Potential.
one in the future. Yeah. So I think
And
he
like
would.
considering that at which role they play, because like a defender to win a Ballon d'Or, that's a really big deal. But for a striker to win, it's not that hard to win it.
you just need to have
So I think
one
right
good
now,
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
right now I would put him in the Ballon d'Or category because he is scoring goals for fun. So
I don't think anybody has any debate. Like even I'm going to put him in the Ballon d'Or category.
Yeah, Ballon d'Or, obviously.
He's easily the second best wonder kid on this list. So
Yeah.
after
Sancho.
we will Kylian Mbappe, obviously.
Oh, उसमें Mbappe है.
Huh.
I don't think he really needs a
So
category.
I would say he's
to,
the third best then.
Oh, you say
he's
Sancho above
obviously Ballon
Haaland.
d'Or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sancho's
that's for another time. But yeah, I would agree 100% with Shubham. Like, guy is 6'4", he's built
At the
fast.
pace that he's
He
going,
can do anything. Like, he can be a target man or a second striker role. So he just blows my mind with what he can do.
Exactly.
Next up, Achraf Hakimi from Real Madrid / Borussia Dortmund.
I think Abhay.
I think Abhay. Yeah.
So the first time I saw him playing was in 2017-18, where we thrashed Sevilla 5-0 and we scored 5 goals in the first half itself. And Hakimi was the 5th goal scorer, and I clearly remember thinking that he would obviously go on to be like a top five right backs, and he's playing like a beast. Like he's pacey, he has good vision, he can link up really well, and he obviously is a really good goal scorer. I think he's the top goal scorer for Dortmund in the CL, if I'm not wrong, like with 4 or 5 goals. Yeah, so for a right back to have such credentials, I think it's really unbelievable. So currently he'll go in the ballers category for me. Like there might be a slight bias, but he would be in the ballers for me.
That stat was because Lucien Favre actually played him up further up the pitch. He played him
RMRB
and right winger.
RM,
He's even played him left winger for that matter. So he's just goes to show how versatile.
Versatility too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He can play anywhere. He has a good cross on him. Obviously, if I were Real Madrid right now, I would honestly start this man.
Bring him back.
Bring him back. I would start out of Carvajal, him and Odriozola. So.
Odriozola तो बात कौन कर रहा है?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just talking about Real Madrid point of view that has the highest like ceiling. So I think I also agree with Abhay in saying that he's a baller, but he's a baller at the UCL quality level.
I would put him
the first half, not gonna lie.
I think he would be a baller for me as well.
Ooh. So yeah, I got outnumbered by the Real Madrid fans here. Kai
Havertz.
Conventional right backs too. So
Kai Havertz. agree. I think I am the one who is the highest on Kai Havertz out of the three of us.
Yeah.
I think that he has the highest potential, highest ceiling out of any Bundesliga youngster right now, justifiably so because he, I think he's the youngest player in the Bundesliga to have started 100 games
Yeah.
for a team like Leverkusen as well. If it was a team like Union Berlin, I
It's
could
a fairly big team. Yeah.
yeah, he would start any game for Union Berlin. So to start for a team like Leverkusen to come through the ranks and start 100 games and become the youngest person to do that in the Bundesliga and to have a consistent scoring record and to break out in this season and score for fun, literally. Like he is the most consistent scorer in the Bundesliga right now, I think. At the
He's got
recent
11
moment,
goals
yeah,
in
and
five.
the
Yeah.
recent form,
After the assumption, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's the
Right.
most
Every
consistent
game he has
goal scorer.
played, he has scored, except for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of potential. I would go as far as to say, if played in the right position, if played as a striker, like a second striker,
Center
like
forward, yeah.
yeah, moving,
Firmino-esque.
yeah, slipping through the defenses, I think he is Ballon d'Or level. He's going to win the Ballon d'Or one day.
All right. Abhay?
Yeah, so just yesterday I've seen his highlights and I was absolutely mind blown. Like the plays that he makes is, especially like if you have seen his backheel assist to Volland on
Yes.
the left
Oh
near
my
post,
God.
that was orgasmic. Like that pass was
He
like
actually
the
has
pass of
done
dream.
one of them to Leon Bailey as well last season. Like he loves that
Yeah,
backheel
exactly. Yeah,
assist.
but yeah, bro. So like for me, I think since the past last week, I have really grown like a big Havertz fan. So I agree with Aryan in putting him in the Ballon d'Or category.
All right. Yeah. I mean, my opinion does not really matter here because I've been outnumbered. But
But no,
definitely he's got the potential to win a Ballon d'Or in the future.
Reece James.
Reece James. Ooh.
One season at Chelsea under Lampard, who is going the youth route because of the transfer ban.
I mean, he's not been their first choice right back as well.
Yeah.
So I think
Azpilicueta is mentioned.
Azpilicueta, yeah, obviously.
But
I think for me he would be. Sorry, yeah, go on.
yeah, the only memory I have of Reece James is of the goal he scored against Ajax, I think, this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was
that
the comeback.
long range work, yeah.
No. Inside the box itself from a corner. That was the
Yeah,
comeback
from a
in
corner.
which,
Yeah, exactly. 5-4, I think.
in which the referee gave 2 red cards, I think, to Ajax, to Beltman and Blind. So
Yeah.
that made it easier for him, obviously, but that is the only memory I have of him. So I'm not going to go out on a whim and say this man has a very high potential. This guy can be the best right back. He's going to be a serviceable Premier League right back for a team like Chelsea. I think he is going to be at the highest level, a UCL quality player, currently decent.
Yeah, I would agree with Aryan in saying that he's a decent player right now for Chelsea. He does not start week in, week out for any other top Premier League club. It's very similar to Guendouzi, but Arsenal aren't really a very big club. So, yeah, try and correlate. Yeah, right now he would be decent with the potential to be a UCL quality player.
Okay.
Luka Jovic.
Abhay,
टाइम थोड़ा कम है.
कर लेते हैं Luka Jovic को.
Okay, yeah. So Jovic, like when I saw his highlights at Frankfurt where he scored that 5 goals in a game, I think that was really his highlight, like in the whole video. And he obviously has a very clinical finishing touch to him, and he's that compact striker like Aguero, and he can like split through the defenses and go on through balls. So I think he had a very high ceiling, but currently at Madrid, he's not played that much to give him like a true space to express his complete football prowess. So I'd go so far as to rate him as decent, but he obviously like has a very high ceiling if he's played well. Because if we buy Mbappe and Haaland, if we do, but currently he's decent. Yeah.
For Benfica, decent. For Frankfurt, he was.
Ballers.
I would say that he had like that.
Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, he was the Haaland of last season, is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Like him and Haller was like
Paired with Rebic and Holler,
yeah,
yeah.
him and Haller was like the streets will never forget kind of combo. Like
Combo, huh?
yeah, like one season combo that never like Haller went to West Ham.
One of them went to West Ham, one of them
One of
went
them
to
went to
Real
Real Madrid.
Madrid. Oh my
Real
Both
Madrid,
God.
flopped.
yeah.
Both flopped. So yeah,
Like,
I'm
not
still
flawed,
going
but
to,
like, yeah,
I'm
his
still going to say
playing size.
decent. I'm still going to say he can resurrect his career, but he needs to
Hmm.
like prove himself because Benzema obviously took his position in a flash.
Like, I I don't think he had to take
Position,
the striker
exactly.
He was
position. Like,
just there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I think Jovic would be decent category for me.
Moist Keane.
Moise Yeah, so I think I should start like a
Yeah.
pseudo Juventus fan. When I saw him play in 2018, I think he was really good. So when I think CR7 was sidelined for like a week, I think Keane took his place as the main striker. So I think there he had a really good goal scoring stint where he scored like 5 goals in 4 matches or something,
Yes,
and he
yes.
was really into the spotlight for the first time. And BF Football started posting like his hardships and like black in Italy and all that. So I think ever since then, when Ancelotti bought him, or I think
No,
that
before that.
earlier manager, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Duncan
So when he
Ferguson.
was bought, he obviously
Even
had a
before that.
very high rating, but he obviously has fell off because of Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin taking the limelight. So I think he would be in the decent for me because he obviously has a long time to prove himself, but currently he's decent.